Hey guys, welcome to a new video on cryptophonics. In this video, we will be discussing another swing trading strategy. So this right in front of us is the daily chart of Netflix. For this strategy, we'll be using two indicators, EMA, exponential moving average, and RSI. The very first thing, let's get the indicators on our chart. EMA, moving average exponential. We will be selecting it thrice, 1, 2, 3. Then the next one, RSI. We'll be making some changes in the settings. For the first EMA, we will be selecting 4 as the length. For the second one, we will be selecting 7 as the length. For the third one, we will be selecting 11 as the length. In the RSI, what we'll do in the settings is the upper band will be at 60 and the lower band will be at 40. So this is how RSI will look. Now, let's focus on the signals that we get. But before the signals, let's get the basics right. 4, 7, 11 is the EMA that we are using. 3 different EMAs of different lengths. RSI will be adjusted upper band till 60. Lower band will be made at 40 level. Now, for the signals, what we need to do is we need to identify the crossovers of all the 3 EMAs. If we look over here, before this point, what was happening was that, okay, one thing that we should do is we should change the color for better understanding. Let's make this one brown, second one orange, and the third one, let that be violet. Okay, so let's look over here. If we look over this point right in front of us, after the crossover, a massive downfall was seen. So what does this crossover signify? This is a sell signal. How a sell signal will be generated? The 11 EMA right here is below the 7 EMA and 7 EMA is right below the 4 EMA. But at this point when the crossover is formed, 11 EMA moves above the 7 and 7 moves above the 4. What happens here is 11, which was acting as the support level, starts acting as the resistance level, followed by 7 and then the 4 EMA. So what happens here is the upper time length moves above the lower time length. Now, this zone here gave us a signal to sell. And what we need to confirm here is the RSI level should be between the 60 and 40 band. The RSI level should be between 60 and 40 band. This will be a sell signal for us. Result of the sell signal, a massive downfall was seen. Let me increase the width. Okay, so result was a massive downfall. So what's the sell signal here? 11 EMA above the 7 EMA and 7 EMA above the 4 EMA. This will be a signal to sell. Also, the RSI should be between the 60 and 40 band. If the RSI is outside the 60 level or the 40 level, we will not be initiating a trade. The RSI has to be in this level. Now, look over here. What happened right in front of us at this point is that the 11 EMA moved above the 7 EMA and 7 EMA was placed above the 4 EMA. And the RSI is well within the 60 and 40 band. Signal to sell, Result, a downfall was seen. If we look over here, what happens is till this point 4 EMA is above 7, 7 is above 11, but the crossover is formed over here and here. What is the similarity between both the crossovers? The similarity is 4 EMA is above the 7 EMA and the 7 EMA is above the 11 EMA. This is a signal to buy. Also, what's common between both these points along with this is that the EMA is between the 60 and 40 band. These both being a signal to buy resulted in a good up move. Now, if we look over here, what happened was a sell signal was initiated by the EMA crossover, but the RSI, if we look over here, is not between the 60 and 40 band. Therefore, what was seen was not a good down move. In spite of the sell signal from EMA crossover, not a good down move was seen by the stock. But if we move a little back, what we'll see is a buy crossover. A crossover is being generated with a buy signal. EMA is between the 60 and 40 band, and this resulted in a good up move. Okay, let's look over here. What we can see is a crossover where the 11 EMA crossed the 7 and 7 EMA crossed the 4 EMA in such a way that a sell signal is generated. Also, the RSI band is within 60 and 40 levels. Signal to sell, result was a downfall. This point right over here, a crossover is being formed, 11 EMA coming at the bottom and 4 EMA going at the top. This being a signal to buy, also being confirmed by the RSI as it is within the 60 and 40 band. Result is an up move. Okay, this point right in front of us, the crossover formed is such that 11 EMA moves at the top and 4 EMA comes at the bottom and 7 EMA is between both. Also, the RSI at this juncture is between the 60 and 40 level. This being a signal to sell, what we observe is a good downfall in the stock price. Now this point right here, this was a signal to buy, but the signal to buy was not confirmed by the RSI. RSI is outside the 60 and 40 band. Therefore, the move could not last. This point over here, what we see is a crossover to sell. Also, the RSI band in this at this juncture is between 60 and 40 levels. Signal to sell, a good downfall was seen. This point right in front of us, the crossover formed is such that 11 EMA is at the bottom, 4 EMA at the top, and 7 EMA between the both. Also, the RSI level is between the 60 and 40 band. What happens after this? An up move is seen on the charts. Now let's check it on some other stock or crypto. Let's go to Bitcoin. Okay. Let's look over here. EMA gave a signal to sell. EMA crossover formed a signal to sell over here. Also, the RSI is between 60 and 40. Signal to sell, result was a downfall. This point over here, if you look, the RSI is below the 40 level. It is not in the 60 and 40 band. But the EMA gave a buy crossover. But as both the indicators are contradicting each other, therefore, no trade zone. This is a no trade zone for us. We can see the result, not a big up move was seen. But if we move a little further right over here, what we can see is a sell crossover was formed over here. 11 EMA going at the top, 4 EMA coming at the bottom, 7 EMA lying between both. This also accompanied by the RSI between the 60 and 40 band. Signal to sell, result was a good downfall. If we look over this point here, again the crossover was such that 11 EMA at the top, 4 EMA at the bottom, 7 between both, and RSI also between the 60 and 40 levels. Result, signal to sell, downfall was observed. Let's look over here. Again, a crossover is being formed. But in this crossover, 11 EMA is at the bottom and 4 EMA is at the top. Also, the 7 EMA being in the middle forms a signal to buy, accompanied by the RSI, which lies between the 60 and 40 levels. This being a signal to buy resulted in a good up move. If we look over here, a sell crossover was formed, EMA between the 60-40 level, good down move was observed. This point over here, EMA gave a sell crossover, but the RSI was outside the band. Result, not a good down move was seen. This point right over here, a buy crossover was formed where the 4 EMA is at the top, 11 EMA at the bottom, 7 between both. Also, the RSI being between the 60-40 band. Signal to buy, result was a good up move. This point over here, this was again a sell crossover. Being a bearish crossover, also being confirmed by the fact that RSI is between the 60 and 40 band. Signal to sell. After shorting, a good down move was seen. This point over here, bearish crossover being formed. Also the RSI between the 60 and 40 band, generating a signal to sell. Downfall was observed after the sell signal formation. So if I go back further, I can show you innumerable examples. But what you need to do is you need to identify your trades on your own. So go on the charts and do find out these patterns and check how many times is it working. This almost has an accuracy of 95%. So do try this strategy, and for more such content, stay tuned with us. Thank you.